This video is sponsored by the trading brokerage Moomoo. Use my link down below, deposit $100 with Moomoo, and we each get 5 stocks, and each of those stocks, get this guys, is valued up to $3,500. So get your free money from Moomoo, link down below, and let's get right into the video. Geez, guys, let me tell you, today was one of those days. We had a lot of volatility. We had that intraday rally, which I talked about in my previous video, which faked me out, that's for sure. I didn't make any moves on it, but I thought we were going to see a bit of a rally, and then lo and behold, we ended up dumping into close, and the S&P 500 went from break even when we filmed that previous video to down 1.2%. We had the Russell close down 1.4%, we had the NASDAQ down 2.5%, and we had the Dow down, which now that I'm looking at it, the Dow did pretty well. It only closed down 0.2% as the VIX went up over 4%. So we have to break down the markets in this video, stocks I'm looking at, plus what I'm doing. So hit the like button, subscribe, join my Patreon if you guys want all my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, all in real time, by the way, plus Discord access and more. All of that's on Patreon, link down below. And let's get right into the video. So we're going to look at VOO today, which is an S&P 500 ETF as opposed to SPY, because with SPY right now, there's this little glitch which is messing up the chart, and it's not as easy to see as it is with VOO. So we're going to look at what's going on here via VOO, right? So yesterday, when it comes to VOO, we hit 386. That was the low point. And today, we didn't take that low out, which is a good sign, but we also didn't break out of the high point from yesterday. So it's not like bulls are completely breaking out. It's kind of like almost the calm before the storm. We didn't break the low from yesterday, which is good, but we also didn't break out of the high from yesterday. So we're kind of in this tight range, waiting for the Fed tomorrow to see, are they going to take a very hawkish stance? Are they going to be a bit more dovish as the markets are crashing here, tanking, losing a lot of value in a very short amount of time? We all know at this point, guys, the Fed has the power. They have the magic wand. They can pretty much control everything. If they're super dovish tomorrow, or let's say in a couple of months, if things get very rough and they all of a sudden change their stance on policy, they become dovish again and they're not going to do all these hikes, the markets could rip. So you all understand at this point that the Fed is in control, and tomorrow is just very important. It's very important, and I'm going to be watching 405 on the upside for VOO, which was at the high point roughly today and yesterday. If that breaks, we might see a nice rally, and it all depends on what happens tomorrow. So for that reason, I'm personally in a lot of cash. I sold my Google position today, my swing trade, in a good timely manner. I sold it, I think it was at 25.62 to be exact, and now Google is down back to the low 2,500. So I made out pretty nicely there. I made a nice profit on my my 2-day, or what was it? I bought it yesterday, sold it today. So I guess 2-day Google trade, made some money there, raised more cash by selling it, and I actually bought some energy, which we'll talk about in a little bit here in a couple of minutes. So that's what I'm thinking here for VOO. 405 on the upside, we got to watch that. And on the downside, we got to watch about 395. So keep that in mind. So let's see what's going on with Triple Q. And by the way, Microsoft reported earnings here after hours. They actually tanked. They were down about 4 or 5%, and the earnings call started just about 10 minutes ago, 20, 30 minutes ago, something like that. And now the stock's ripping, and Triple Q's going right back up with it. And as you guys know, the big tech names control the overall markets. So it's interesting to see that. And I'm not sure what they're saying in the Microsoft earnings call, because I didn't listen to it. I mean, it's probably on right now, so I'm not listening to it. But they said something, or there's some positive spotlight on some part of their business, because the stock is moving after they reported earnings, which we'll talk about here in a second. So a lot of volatility, guys. Triple Q is still downtrending on the 5-day chart, and it will be downtrending until it starts breaking back over 355, 360, which we're not too close to that point right now. So we have to see how tomorrow ends up playing out with volatility, big tech, the Fed, inflation, interest rates, the bond yields. We'll see how the 10-year and the 2-year react. I'm pretty excited for tomorrow. So what do you guys think? Drop me a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're trying to get 25,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. That's a big milestone. Make sure you guys subscribe. It would help me out. And with that being said, let's talk about some stocks. So like I said, Microsoft reported after market hours today. The stock ended up going down, and now it's ripping like no other. This is insane. I haven't seen this type of V-shaped recovery, and I wish I was listening to the earnings call because, again, I'm not sure why this is happening, but we're seeing a huge U-turn, and it's pretty significant considering Microsoft is such a big company. So let's see here. Maybe they issued guidance. Is that what it is? We'll see that in a second. So overall, when it comes to their overall, EPS and revenue, let's see here what they did for the quarter compared to the estimate. They did $51.7 billion of revenue for the quarter, which compared to the $50.88 billion estimated. So they beat EPS or revenue rather, which is great. And they also beat EPS. EPS came in at $2.48 versus $2.31. So they double beat EPS and revenue, and it seems like they returned about $10.9 billion to shareholders via repurchases and dividends just in the second quarter alone, which is fantastic. And that's the beautiful thing about investing in businesses, blue chip stocks that are actually profitable, right? And that pay dividends and they do share buybacks. I mean, the beautiful thing is, well, I guess the beautiful thing is that they do, share buybacks and they pay dividends, because when a company buys back shares, I say this all the time, this is the opposite of them issuing shares. If they issue shares, they dilute your ownership as a shareholder. Let's say you own Microsoft and they issued a bunch of shares, you're being diluted. But if they're buying back shares, your piece of the pie is growing. It's the opposite of you being diluted. So that's a very good sign that they're doing, repurchases. They're paying dividends, which a lot of people like dividends. I like dividends, even though I'm not a dividend investor per se, but I do like them. They're kind of like the icing on top. LinkedIn revenue increased by 37% versus the estimate of 33.4%. Azure revenue increased by 29% versus the 28.5% estimate. So that's a nice beat for LinkedIn revenue and Azure revenue. Let's see here. Did they give out guidance? That's what I really want to look at. Microsoft, there it is, guys. Microsoft shares spike higher on strong guidance during the earnings call. That's it, guys. I'm telling you. A lot of the, when you're looking at stocks in the short term with earnings, a lot of it comes down to, when I'm talking about price actions to the upside here and the downside, a lot of it comes down to guidance. If they give out strong guidance for revenue, for EPS, the stock, a lot of the time, starts ripping up. And if they give poor guidance, not the best EPS revenue guidance, we might be seeing downside. So the fact that they double beat, which is great, a lot of their segments are doing well year over year, great guidance. That is why we're seeing the stock moving up from that initial drop, because look, it closed at 288, it dropped to 269. So initially it was down about 6%, which is not good. And now it turned from being down 6% to now being up after hours about 3.5%, which is pretty impressive, guys. A turnaround of close to 10%. So Microsoft at this point in time, it might be a bull trap. That's the scary thing, because this rally, although it's great after hours, we are now rallying right to the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, which you guys can see every time we've hit these moving averages, at least in the past roughly month, we've gotten rejected. Every rally that's gotten to the moving averages ended up being a bull trap. So I personally am not rushing into Microsoft now by any means. I think the time to, if you wanted to gamble with the earnings report, the time to have bought it would have been when it tanked to 269, 270. That would have been a nice dip buy in hindsight. But now that it's rallied close to $30 since that point, since that drop, I'm going to be cautious with it. I'm going to be watching it, and we're going to see what the other big tech names report. We have a lot of other ones coming up here in the short term. So let's see the next stock here, Texas Instruments Txn, they're up a good chunk. They're up about $7 after market hours. Let's see what they ended up doing. They did $2.27 EPS versus $1.94 estimated. They did sales of $4.83 billion versus $4.43 billion estimated. So nice double beat for Texas Instruments, ticker symbol TXN. And they see, what is this? They see, is that guidance? They got it for Q1 EPS of $2.01 to $2.09. And we see that was versus the $1.91 estimate. That's great revenue or EPS guidance. And revenue guidance. They're seeing about $4.5 to $4.9 billion in revenue for Q1 versus the $4.4 billion estimated. So guidance is great. Going back to what I said about guidance, guys, the stock's moving up on great guidance and a double beat. That is very impressive. So just like Microsoft, this one's not out of the woods. We rallied. It's great. It's looking awesome right now, but we're right by the moving averages, which we have failed at during the sell-off for about, and this has actually been selling off more for a longer period of time than Microsoft. This has been selling off for almost 2 months at this point. So be careful. This could end up being a bull trap for all we know. Keep that in mind for TXM, but overall, great earnings, nice guidance, nice double beat. Shout out to anybody that owns this stock. So now let's talk about oil. Let's switch a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about oil. Let's see what crude/CL, let's see what this did today. This ended up going up. You guys can see it seems like crude oil started the day at about, wow, what a day, guys. What was that? 83 a barrel. That was at 8 a.m. on the East Coast. We went from 83 a barrel to 85.70 a barrel. That's a rally of 3.4%. And you guys know, especially if you're in my Patreon, you get all my alerts, my buys and sells, right? Call outs. I bought XLE earlier in the day, which is an energy ETF. I bought this at about $64.29-30, something like that. And now I'm up about $1 per share of my position. And with everything going on right now with inflation, we have the Ukraine-Russia problem, which a lot of people are saying is bullish for the price of oil, right? This is causing a supply side. It's causing pressure on the supply side. Russia, you guys know Russia. And an analyst here said, quote, the outlook for oil is very bullish right now as inventories are seen rising by a smaller amount than initially thought as surplus estimates are dialed back, given lower production and better demand conditions. That's from an analyst at Sevens Report Research. So I've been bullish oil. You guys know that. I'm not going to be saying that in every video because you guys are probably tired of me saying that. But if you guys are new to the channel, I'm bullish oil. I've been bullish oil for months at this point, and I have a long-term XLE position, and now today I initiated an initial position as a swing trade for the short to medium term. I'm looking about, 6 to 9 months on my I guess short-term swing trade, not that short-term, more mid-term. So oil, it's looking good. And now that we're on the subject of oil, let's take a look at Occidental Petroleum. This stock has been absolutely on fire. Today alone, it went up over 8%. You guys can see it hit a high point on this 4-hour chart. Same with, now that I'm thinking about it, same with CVX. We talked about this one earlier today. And ExxonMobil, all of these are breaking out, guys. And Occidental Petroleum, OXY, this one broke out of a multi-month resistance. You guys can see $36 has been a sticking point since roughly October, so about 3 months ago, a little over 3 months ago. And the fact that we broke out of that and we're not ridiculously oversold and volumes kicking up, I think this could go 40 plus. I think we could go 40 plus in the short term here. And I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow or later this week for that matter, but over the next couple of weeks, if Occidental Petroleum, if you came back from the future like Marty McFly, you're like, Stas, hey, look, it's at $45, I would believe you. I would really believe you at that point, and I would not be surprised whatsoever. So watch out for Occidental Petroleum. CF Industries is another one that's looking pretty good right now. This one up 4.5% today. It's breaking out of the moving averages on the 4-hour chart. We're breaking out of the wedge on the 4-hour chart as well. And we're currently trading at a multi-week high. And honestly, out of all the charts, in the stock market right now, we're talking about individual stock charts. The oil charts look fantastic. The energy stocks, we've obviously been talking about those a lot, but this one, other than the oil stocks, this one's probably up there with the best looking charts, at least the ones that I've been able to find. CF looks pretty good. I think this is poised to go to mid-high 70s by the looks of it, so watch out for that. Keep your eyes on the gold stocks, guys. I'm telling you, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, I've been wrong in the past, but since gold and silver, for that matter, both of these, the precious metals, the commodities market in general, but I want to really talk about gold and silver here, these lagged in 2021 so aggressively, but now that inflation's really settling in, I feel like gold could have a great year this year. And I'm not saying it's going to go up 50%. It's not Bitcoin, guys. I don't think it's going to go up 30% either, even 20%. But could gold go up 10%? Could we be at 2,000 an ounce roughly by the end of this year? Absolutely, guys. So for that reason, I'm already invested in gold. I've been invested in gold, and I don't even want to say it's an investment because if you buy gold stocks, that is an investment, but the actual metal, if you own the actual metal, which I've owned for years at this point, and I've been just slowly buying over time, if you own the metal, it's more of, I view it more as, it's kind of like a savings account. It's a safe haven asset, a savings account, a hedge against it's really not just a hedge against inflation, guys, but it's just a hedge against collapses, economy crashing, black swans. It's a great inflation hedge as well, even though last year it didn't do much, but that's why I think it's going to do well this year. And overall, it's just great. I love gold. I'm not a gold bug. I'm not an investor that has gold as 80% of his portfolio, but for 5% of the portfolio, maybe 10%, I might be pushing it, but between 5-7%, I like gold for the stability. Let's put it that way. And for that reason, I'm looking at GDX right now, which is a gold miners ETF. It is breaking out of the moving averages. It is right around the 50 and the 180 here on the 4-hour chart. It pulled back recently, but it seems like buyers are stepping in again, like I said, by the moving averages. So if this takes out $32, which was the high point, let's see here, from the middle of this month, we're probably going back to $34, $33, maybe even higher than that. So watch out for GDX in the short term, guys. I do think with gold looking bullish over the next couple of months, I think GDX will be a nice play, maybe back mid-high 30s. That's where I'm thinking we could be going there. XLF as well. XLF is a financial ETF. This one's ripping right now, aftermarket, or it was just today in general. I mean, it didn't go crazy to the green, to the upside, but it did go up 0.4%, and we did see a nice rally from yesterday's close. Take a look at this, guys. On the 5-day, 5-minute, we hit 36.82 yesterday, and today we rallied all the way to about $39, which was a move of over 5%, and it does seem like we are slowly trying to reverse on this 5-day chart and on the 10-day chart a little bit, especially if it does take out $38, $39 right by this 180 SMA. So watch out for XLF. Financials in general, I think these are going to be very volatile tomorrow, and they could open up nice trading opportunities over the next couple of days as the Fed's going to give us more information, their opinions and so forth, what they're looking to do tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. So keep your eyes on XLF and the gold stocks and the tech stocks for that matter, guys. We're going to see how everything reacts tomorrow. It's going to be pretty good. And as a downside protection, we're going to be looking at SQQQ, which goes up whenever the triple Q, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, goes down. So let's say the NASDAQ 100 goes down 1%. Triple Q being a leveraged ETF, it's going to go up 3%. So let's say the NASDAQ goes down 3%. We're going to see SQQQ go up 9%. So we're going to keep this on the watch list as a kind of a hedge, a downside protection. If we do see a big dump after hours or during the day tomorrow or pre-market, we might be able to trade this. So overall, guys, look, tomorrow it's going to be crazy. We have a lot going on right now, and we truly have to be prepared for every single scenario. And yeah, we could be blindsided, but As long as we're prepared to the best of our ability, that's all we can do. And the key here is not to freak out, not to panic, not to make any irrational moves under fear, I don't want to say under duress. I mean, I don't know. You guys know what I mean, right? So if you all found value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts down below, and make sure to join my Patreon if you want all my buys, sells, call outs, all in real time, morning update videos, private Discord access, all of that's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 5 stocks from Moomoo. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and you can get up to 5 stocks from Moomoo. That's linked down below, and you could also get $50 from M1 Finance, M2 stocks from Webull, all that free money, again, and the Patreon is in the description box. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.